Okay, MB Moose Lover here again. Another moose video. This was a morning video. Young bull, he's just got little nubs starting out there. I was in the same cutting here and he just kind of snuck in behind me. Turned around, he was right there. I didn't hear him coming or nothing, and just feeding along through the cutting here. Beautiful morning. It was nice and cool, kept the bugs off, and it was actually cold. My hands get cold in June. Anyway, just gonna feed on some leaves here. I just grabbed the camera off the tripod when I found him behind me, because I would have had to kind of get behind it and swing it around, and so I'm just filming him offhand here. Do a little bit better than I did in the last video with the tripod. Like I said, I don't use a tripod a lot for panning and panning the camera around. I haven't done a lot of work with it like that. I just usually set it up if I'm watching a road or a cutting, and then just a lot of times you can just get the moose and without having to adjust it too much. And a lot of times I just use an arm brace that I have for around my neck for my elbow that I can stabilize the camera. It works really well. When we were driving around with our side-by-side, my wife had a side-by-side, my wife would do the driving and I would be ready to film. It was a lot of fun. We would just go up the woods roads and go around a turn or over a hill, and there'd be moose standing there, and I'd be all ready to film and use my little brace to hold it still. I had to sell my bike, hard times the Maritimes, but I got a four-wheel drive truck, but I do take it out some to scratch it up. I use a bicycle now, basically. I'm just out, go so far with my truck and then use a bike. I got a used bike for $100. So that's what I use, and I rigged up a little case, little thing on the back of my backpack with a zipper, so I can just basically put my camera in the case and then zipper it on the back of my backpack and then bike with it. Takes a little while to get it out if I see something, but at least it keeps it from getting damaged. So I don't really mean to ramble with this video that much. I like to do some narrative on them just so kind of give a little play-by-play, but I have to watch myself. I ramble or say all the time, like the Canadians say I say this Canadian says all the time. I annoy myself when I'm playing it back. Anyway, this bull, he worked his way down, little bull, he worked his way down and got up onto the road, and I didn't even actually see him. I lost him in the bushes down there, and then he came back up the road here, and you can see his breath. And the film ended up being a little bit cloudy here, and I was having a hard time when I was filming that whole time. You just saw, because the heat from my eye and on the eyepiece was actually fogging it up, and I would lose him. I couldn't see through the eyepiece because I can't use a screen because of the reflection of the sun on the actual screen on the camera when you flip it out. So I'm using the eyepiece, and it was fogging up on me. I just couldn't see through it, and I thought that was what was going on here, but I think it's just the shade, and I don't know, there might have been a little mist or fog, or you see the moose's breath here in places, but because it was quite cold, so you wouldn't think it would have. But anyway, he does come into the sun here in a minute, so it clears it up a little bit, but it's frustrating when you take a video and then you find out you're not as clear as you thought it was going to be. And he's quite a ways away. He's a couple 100 yards away from me. And there's a lot of traffic on this road, and I don't think there was any vehicles going by when I was filming there. You can't hear any, but there's going to be a truck coming here in just a minute, and he's just barreling, just a half ton, and this moose is playing around the road here. and I stopped the video before the truck went by. I didn't want to film the truck, but it was just a half done. I mean, you couldn't, I just don't want to film anybody. I was just hoping he saw the moose. And I don't even think he saw it. I think the moose basically just went out of my sight here, and then you can hear the truck coming, and then it just went by and didn't seem to slow down or touch his brakes too much. I don't think so. I think the moose turns and looks at the truck coming, but then he kind of just slipped off into the woods. He didn't come my way. He didn't come back into the cutting. He went the opposite direction, or yeah, I think you can hear the truck coming right there. It's off in the distance. It's still not there yet. Better ears than I do, so he could probably hear it before I did. He's just having a morning stroll, looking for salt residue on the road from winter. Actually, what he's probably doing, and these cows here, these yearling cows that I filmed in these few videos here, they a lot of people don't realize that these are last year's calves. There you can see his breath. These are last year's calves, and they've been with the mothers all winter. And right now the mothers, when they're having new calves, they'll boot them out. They'll basically, I've seen deer chase, yearlings away in the woods behind my house. And when they've got new fawns, they'll just chase them, and they'll keep trying to come back to the nest. And so that cow that I filmed on the previous video that went down into a pond, if you watch that video, she actually grunted when she got in the woods, because they'll go around grunting for their mother, and they have a hard time to adjust to, all of a sudden being pushed out of the family. I think you can hear the truck coming here. He's just turning there now, and I think he can tell there's something coming, so. It's coming right here. The truck is, and I'm not going to show it, so hope to. I got a few more videos here. I got a couple more to load and upload. Maybe get a few more here. So later.